It has finally happened. The ultimate merge of Goku Black and Zamasu has created a situation now to where even our own heroes are faced with a life and death choice of either to continue to fight a losing battle in order to stay alive or create a strategy in order to create some sort of glimmer of hope. And with this ultimate merger taking place, combining the ever so growing powers of Goku Black and Zamasu's immortality is even translated and said that Goku Black's and Zamasu's merger has evolved their powers into something unlike anything Goku and Vegeta have ever seen before, sporting both an immortal body and formidable fighting power. Another chestnut to be added to merge Zamasu's list is that he emits a wall of light that eliminates all that it touches behind him, but yet Goku and Vegeta don't lose their fighting spirit against the mightiest of gods. And with all this carnage, this leaves us with two possible scenarios which could lead to the ending of this arc. Scenario number one would be for Gowasu to realize the danger that lies before him and quickly offers his earrings to Goku and Vegeta with the promising of them being able to defuse later in order to temporarily provide a fighting chance against such a monster as Zamasu. Although in my opinion, a power like Super Saiyan God Vegeta would far exceed even the strength of merged Zamasu, they still wouldn't be able to kill something that cannot be killed, i.e. immortality. So since Trunks has learned the Mafuba on his own, this could create a situation to where Vegeta would be able to push Zamasu back and hold him down while Trunks attempts to seal him away, making use of both Vegito or Trunks. Or even since Vegito is part of Goku and Goku also knows about the Mafuba, perhaps Vegito could attempt to seal him away as well. And even as noted, what if Trunks sealing Zamasu away earlier has somehow caused Zamasu to lose his immortality? I mean, this would leave him wide open for someone like Vegito to attack, making someone like merged Zamasu very vulnerable despite how strong he is. And then we have scenario number two would be for Goku and Vegeta not to fuse, but instead hold their ground individually while Gowasu and the Supreme Kai take Bulma on over to Roshi's house to collect the final piece of the Mafuba jar, the magic seal. That way they can go back into the future if they try to seal Zamasu off this time and hand over the magic seal to either Goku or Trunks, and now putting the final nail into Zamasu's coffin. But in either situation, it was noted that the Mafuba jar will play a very vital role in permanently putting this arc to an end. But the question is, how exactly are they going to do it? Are they going to have Trunks seal him away? Are they going to have Goku seal him away? Are they going to have Vegito seal him away? All these questions up in the air, but I think the most plausible scenario to go with here would be to combine the fighting powers of both Goku and Vegeta into the form of Vegito. We saw how Black was able to tear a hole in reality by stabbing himself in the hand and thus releasing a massive scythe from the energy hole that was left within his hand, thus tearing a hole in reality, spawning all sorts of disasters. And even thus in the episode preview showcases both Vegeta and Goku having to be beaten down so bad that they're actually having trouble to stand back up, very similar to when Buhan was introduced and Buhan beat both Goku and Vegeta down into the dirt, thus resulting in Goku begging and pleading with Vegeta to put on the earring temporarily so they can go on ahead and stop such a monster from further destroying the universe. So at this very point, it's not like Goku and Vegeta have any other alternative. They don't really have any other form. They're not in a position of power right now for them to actually go on ahead and fight this person head on individually, because we already know that the white light around them eliminates anything it touches, and with the rapid growth of power that Goku Black possesses and the immortality that Zamasu possesses, this creates a very dire situation for everyone. So I think that if they were to make use of Gowasu, this ought to be the perfect time, and the reality and scenario and situation of Vegito actually being a thing in Dragon Ball is very likely. Actually, it's very highly likely, because of course we do know that fusion is now introduced in Dragon Ball Super, having the first two characters ever fused, that being Goku Black and Zamasu. Why wouldn't it be more than fitting to have Goku and Vegeta also undergo fusion, thus having a fusion fight off another fusion, very similar to Dragon Ball Z when we had Buhan, who was a fusion of Gohan and Gotenks, and Piccolo alongside Majin Buu combat the likes of Goku and Vegeta's fusion. And especially with Zamasu retaining immortality, I don't think it would be as easy for Vegito to beat someone down who's invulnerable to death, especially knowing the fact that he still has immortality. If by some chance Zamasu does not retain his immortality ability due to the fact that he was sealed away temporarily in the Mafuba jar, then of course this leaves him wide open for attack, and I think that easily put, Vegito would be able to slaughter such a character with ease. But of course, with Trunks being there, with Gowasu being there, with the Supreme Kai being there, something's got to give here. You can't just introduce Gowasu and the Supreme Kai into the future without allowing them to do something. Of course, I do think that at some point we're going to see our characters make their way to Master Roshi so they can obtain the magical seal to thus put an end to Zamasu's reign if they decide to seal him away. But even looking at the evidence is very apparent, having to be hinted and foreshadowed throughout all of Dragon Ball Super, even having Whis at one point talk to Goku and Vegeta, telling them that if by some chance they were to put their differences aside just for one single solitary moment and work together, they would be truly an unstoppable force, even rivaling the powers of Lord Beerus. So if there was ever a time for them to have Vegito be introduced, this would be the perfect time, because we have the perfect villain who threatens time and space and reality into creating all sorts of havoc in the future. But not just that, if they succeed in destroying the future, they can easily move throughout time and destroy all types of realities. So this would be the perfect time to have someone such as the caliber of Vegito come in and fight off the fusion of merged Zamasu. And in case people are wondering if it's a far-fetched idea, what better way to even the odds than to have someone like Vegito combat the likes of merged Zamasu? Keep in mind, we saw in the episode preview leading into Dragon Ball Super episode 65, the Ultimate God's Final Judgment, we do understand that his power in terms of caliber, even stated by Goku, is unlike anything they've ever encountered before. And it's not like they really have a chance aside from Mafuba to really take this dude down, but who's to really say that the Mafuba technique would actually work this time? And throughout this entire arc, the Potara earrings were foreshadowed many different times through many different ways, and of course that provides us with clues as to the rebirth of Vegito, and of course with some asking themselves, how would Vegito even be introduced if there aren't any Potara earrings? Keep in mind, Gowasu had told Beerus that he feels responsible for bringing in such a person like Zamasu to be a soon-to-be Kaioshin in training and whatnot, to put him in a position of power, and he feels solely responsible for ultimately bringing this person and introducing him to such a power, to such a world. And Gowasu feels as if he wants to help in some way, shape, or form. So what better way to help than for Gowasu to realize the threat and danger that lies before him, and for him to personally hand over the earrings to Goku and Vegeta, thus at least giving them a fighting chance. Now, the only reason why I don't think that this fight is going to end as an individual taking Zamasu out is because we saw how Goku Black and Zamasu were able to fight as a cohesive unit, thus giving Goku, Vegeta, and Trunks a very difficult time until Vegeta and Goku have returned back from the past after Vegeta's training. But even with that, Goku Black still was able to get stronger and stronger and stronger. So we saw how they were able to pretty much kind of even up the odds towards the very end of Dragon Ball Super episode 64, of course, until we saw the merger happen. But even with that, as individuals, there was no way, shape, or form that one person was going to take out the other without the respective other getting in the way, i.e. Zamasu. Every single time Goku and Vegeta or Trunks focused primarily on Goku Black, we see how Zamasu would deliberately get in the way and, using his immortal body, take all the hits for Goku Black because he knows that he can't die. So as individuals, it was really hard for anyone to legitimately get a good shot in without the other person stepping in. Now, of course, we don't really have anyone else stepping in to kind of help merge Zamasu per se, because now they're both one. But people are also going to wonder how exactly, if Vegito decides to show up, would he ever defuse? Well, we saw during the Universal God Destruction Tournament between Universe 6 and Universe 7, the Supreme Kai had told Goku that he had went to planet Namek to use the Namekian Dragon Balls in order to defuse from Kibito. So at one point, the Supreme Kai and Kibito were once fused, and after using the Dragon Balls and wishing for them to defuse, that's exactly what happened. So if there was ever a chance for them to introduce a permanent type fusion and then later defuse them, this would be the perfect opportunity. However, I do think that the merged Zamasu fusion will not be a flatline villain at all, and what I mean by that is if they go down the route of having him kill someone, who exactly do you guys believe may actually be killed, especially knowing now that we're going to be nearing the end of this arc, going into the next arc, as they already confirmed that they're going to go ahead and announce in December. So I think that if there was anyone there that Zamasu can easily kill off, it would be that of Gowasu, because what if Gowasu had already given Goku and Vegeta the earrings, and Zamasu realizing this, he can go ahead and once again kill off Gowasu, as Gowasu has no placement there anymore. I don't think that they're going to keep Zamasu's fusion as a flatline type villain. We saw how Goku Black was able to kill Bulma. We saw how Goku Black was able to legitimately stab everyone throughout the show repeatedly, sometimes more than just once. So I think that even if someone like Vegeta were to be introduced and push Zamasu Black, Zamasu can ultimately blame Gowasu for giving the mortals the earrings of the Kaioshin, thus killing him off in result of defiling the gods themselves. But again, as of this point, anything could happen. I do think that so far, Vegito is foreshadowed, and of course Vegito is a very high possibility. I don't think introducing Vegito at a later point would make any sense, because as of right now, this would be the perfect time and place to introduce such a person, because Goku and Vegeta are in a situation to where they're fighting off against someone who is increasing in strength ever so more, and of course has an immortal body. So even if Vegito can't physically beat them down, because the fact that Zamasu is still immortal, they can easily provide cover and attack Zamasu repeatedly for Trunks to go on ahead and buy some time to use the Mafuba yet again, as everyone else tries to go get the seal and come back so they can permanently seal him away. But at this point, it's anyone's ball game. Let me know down in the comment section below as to what you guys believe is going to happen. Vegito is a very high possibility, and I think if there was ever a time to do so, this would be the perfect time, because having him introduced in the Omni tournament wouldn't make that much sense, nor introducing him at any other point. This is the perfect time and place for them to do so. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Once again, thank you guys for watching. If you guys are new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe for more awesome daily content. If you guys cannot wait for the next episode of Dragon Ball Super, then punch that like button square in the face. If you guys want Vegito to come into this picture, then also punch that like button square in the face, guys. Let me know what you guys think. Tune in for more, and I'll be seeing you all in the next update. Take it easy, guys. Peace.